week is no different. We get a chance to dish it up with Dr. Deborah Stroman.
From the basketball court at the University of Virginia to the classroom at UNC Chapel Hill, Dr. Deborah Stroman has it all covered. Now this professor and sports business entrepreneur is about to take you to school. It's time for Dishing It Up with Dr. Stroman and the Sports Shop on Buzz Sports Radio.
D-Stro.
Good morning, friend.
Good morning, Dr. Stroman.
Wow, I've missed y'all. How are you doing?
We've missed you. We're doing good.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot on my mind, and certainly with the shooting of Charlie Kirk yesterday, I'd imagine that most of this listening audience did not believe a lot of what Charlie Kirk believed, but it is just ugly and wrong to have the gun violence that continues in this country.
Absolutely.
And the taking of lives. So just terrible. But, this is what sport does, right? For many, many people, it is that escape. It allows us to, I don't want to say try to move past something, but to be in a place where you can talk about something that takes your mind off something that's very, very hurtful. And that's what we do, and that's what many others do. So I'm glad that we have the Sports Shop this morning in particular, because there is a lot of hurt in the country right now and a lot of questioning in terms of who are we as a country and where are we going and how can we have more unity and be respectful of other people who have a view that's not like our own. So I just wanted to make sure I opened up with that. I want to also bring to the attention of our listening audience an amazing play called The Royale, which is playing on UNC's campus, the Playmakers Theater. And it is somewhat of a take on the life of Jack Johnson, the great heavyweight boxer, considered the country's first black superstar. Encouraging people to check out this play. It's on stage from September 10th through the 28th. I was blessed to be able to go to the preview night with some honor students at Carolina, do a little pre-theater production lecture and engage with students. But it's very, very compelling story. And the tagline is, "Some fights are bigger than a title."
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, so it's called The Royale, encouraging people to check that out. But again, to kind of take us a little bit away from football season, I believe this is a very, very big story. And I want to talk about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard and what's going on with the NBA. The commissioner, Adam Silver, he had a press conference talking about a number of things going on with the league. But he basically said to the NBA fan base, he said to the owners, to the players, to everyone that the NBA is going to have to prove that the Los Angeles Clippers, the owner, Steve Balmer, and Kawhi Leonard and his representative, his uncle, Dennis Robertson, are not guilty of trying to circumvent the cap, the salary cap. So what happened about a week ago, an unnamed employee working for this company called Aspiration, based out of San Francisco, told the very, very excellent podcaster and sports broadcaster Pablo Torre that the payment to Kawhi Leonard, one of our greatest in the league, the payment was made to circumvent the salary cap, as in he was paid in 2022 $28 million for a no-show job, just like we talk about in college sports where athletes were paid to watch paint dry, right?
Right.
And that gives the Clippers an advantage. And when we talk about the league, all the sports leagues, there's a level of trust between owners, and certainly there is a spirit of, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make my team better so I can win and make more money. Now, there's a history of this with Kawhi Leonard, and I know he's considered one of the good guys. You know, he's kind of meek. He's a very, very threatening player on the court, but his personality is not very brash and bold. But there was a report that he had a second deal worth approximately $20 million that was set to be paid in company stock to a gentleman named Joe Sandberg. Joe Sandberg has since been found guilty. He pled guilty to defrauding investors of $248 million. So in a sense, where there's smoke, there might be fire. I want to also speak on Kawhi's uncle. It's been reported during his free agency in 2019 that he constantly makes outrageous requests for Kawhi. When he was talking to the Toronto Raptors, he asked for ownership in the Maple Leafs, the NHL team. He asked for a trade for Paul George, and then he asked for $10 million each year in extra sponsorship income that would have nothing to do with Kawhi doing any work, not any appearances, not doing any videos, not posting anything. He's quoted as saying that we don't want to do anything. So I want to pause right there and say that this can really upset the economic structure, the trust that the 30 governors of the NBA have for one another. It's basically saying that you can go after anybody you want, just hook up a deal on the side with a third party and just pay them that way. What's your take?
Well, I agree with everything you said. It's really disturbing. I don't know. It's interesting. In addition to paying him, promising Kawhi $28 million from Aspirations, they gave him $20 million in stock. In the event that company is going to hang around, which totaled about $48 million all the way in, or even north of that if the stock would have done anything. I just find it really amazing. Steve Balmer, he comes across, and I'm not going to talk about, his name's Dennis Robertson. That's Kawhi's uncle. They call him Uncle Dennis. Call him Uncle Dennis, I'm not going to talk about him. But Steve Ballmer's, the way he responded, it seemed like he made me look guilty in this situation. I think it's, he come across like hand got caught in the cookie jar almost. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
So we're saying a billionaire owner got caught cheating, trying to get away with saving some money on keeping the best players. That's where we are.
That's where we are.
Is that where we are, Dr. Stroman? That's what happened.
Well, is it at the point where, again, whatever it takes, as long as you don't get caught?
Yeah, that's exactly where it is. Yeah, that's where we have landed.
But speaking of getting caught, I know Kawhi is sitting back like I should have left that alone because nobody knew about it until he decides to sue because the company Aspirations went bankrupt and they still owed him $7 million. If he'd have left that
$7
alone,
million, bro,
we wouldn't be talking about this today.
I'll tell you this: that $7 million, you could have figured out how to make that up somewhere else. On another deal. You know what I mean? They're like, come on, man. Unless it was someone to tie his taxi, you need to write it off or something.
But that's a dumb move right there.
My little quick two cents is that you think there are other owners saying,
yeah,
maybe they shouldn't be talking about this.
Right.
Because we've done something very similar and maybe we want nobody to find out about it.
We've all done it.
Exactly.
Stop talking.
I thought it was the norm. Somebody's like, what? That's what?
Right now, there are people that have been the recipients of these deals saying, come on, what?
Right, man, it was $7 million. I gave you $7. $250. Like, what are you doing?
There are a lot of highly paid NBA players on some teams going, bruh. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, he's not the only one. I can put that down right now.
No way.
We know this. We know this already. He's not the only one.
Agree to get you in trouble every time.
Steve Ballmer didn't come up with this on his own.
No. It's probably been going on for a while. We just found out about it, man. Come on.
It's probably some retired player going, ooh.
Well, we know this has been taking place in college sports forever, and going all the way back to when the NCAA was formed. There's this narrative out there that the NCAA was formed for player safety because, there was very violent games, people near death. Well, people actually dying, guys actually dying, all of that. But on the other side of all of that was the illegal payments that were taking place amongst teams and actually having professionals out there because they were paying young men to come out and win games. And they felt that we need to come together as an organization and figure this out. And so we see it in pro sports. I don't think if it's happening in college, it's definitely happening in pros because oftentimes college just mirrors the pros. But I'm thinking about that sense of structure that they put in place, and they're all hiring high-powered attorneys and salary capologists to figure this all out. But indeed, when you get behind the mask, when you get behind the curtain like Wizard of Oz, you see that there's just a lot of tinkering and illegal things taking place. I want to remind people of the salary cap and what it means. For this upcoming season, it's about $155 million that a team is supposed to spend, with a luxury tax threshold at $188 million. And what that means is how much money can a team spend on your salaries? Most of the money comes from league revenues, like the television deals, and we see everyone from Amazon to YouTube TV to ABC, Disney, ESPN. Everybody wants a piece of this. The other side is the tickets. And certainly if you're in a big market, you have a much higher chance of filling up your stadium, filling up your arena. And these mid-market cities, they're struggling. Oklahoma City, I think, is the poster boy of how to do it the right way. Get some young superstars and you can have sellouts, whereas Charlotte, sadly, continues to struggle with that. The NBA also has a soft cap system, which means that you can exceed the cap. You can pay more out, but guess what? You're going to pay a price for it.
Penalty,
and it's significant penalties. And then you continue to have incremental taxes and the more and more restrictions as you go higher and higher into that luxury tax, or what's called the aprons. And I know I'm hearing a lot of sports broadcasters talking about aprons. What that means is basically that there is a salary threshold, and the nickname for it is calling it an apron. So you have a first level apron and then a second level apron. And once you cross either a limit or apron, then it further restricts a team's ability to make trades, sign players, and it can also touch your how you're able to draft players in the future, as in you might have to forfeit some picks. And so this is really, really a disturbing move. You know, moving into October, we'll be talking more about the NBA, but let's stay close attention to what the NBA does and how they try to monitor this. Adam Silver is definitely, his office is an independent body, but at the same time, he's beholden to those 30 governors. So it's going to be interesting how they're able to play this out.
Dr. Stroman, real quickly, so you said they about $150 million in salary cap up to 160, is that right?
Yeah, 188.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stat. It says the approximate revenue for the NBA team is $11.3 billion. Is that right?
There you go. There you go.
Come on.
So there's a lot of folks making some money, and that's why they keep it as a small fraternity. They're not letting everybody into this game.
So, quite honestly, I don't never want to hear another owner talk about the cost of salaries.
That's right. I agree with you.
You make $11 billion, and the people that make you the $11 billion only cost you 10% of that?
Right.
That's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's really crazy.
Or 1%, whatever that is.
Just a little backdrop to Steve Balmer, in particular the LA Clippers. One is, I was trying to figure, why does Kawhi want to stay out there? No, they wasn't that good. Why? Maybe we know why now. But the other part is that, in terms of Adam Silver's decision and how he handled that, keep in mind, this is going to be the shining light next season, particularly the All-Star game, All-Star weekend, because they're going to play in L.A., in the arena that Steve Ballmer just built. So it'd be interesting to see how they handle him, how they handle any fines going forward or whatever, because this is supposed to be his shining moment coming to L.A. for the All-Star game next season. So we'll see how that works out.
No, you're exactly right, both of you.
Yeah.
And so when we see Steve Ballmer, he's one of the most active in-arena fans. All his emotions, they keep the camera on him. But no, he's cheering for his team, but is also cheering for his wallet. They are making a lot of money. Yeah. And, those comments about athletes, they're so greedy and but just consider what the owners are making in all of this.
Wow. Incredible.
That's right.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah. But WNBA playoffs are going to be starting soon.
Sunday. Yes,
Sunday is going to be very, very competitive, especially when we know Nafisa Collier with the Minnesota Lynx, who is the favorite. They held her out of the last game, just want to rest her body. So we see the load management taking place in the WNBA. The Aces are on a streak right now. They're playing really well. It's going to be very, very compelling playoffs. I'm hopeful that people will tune in. It is a different game from college basketball, men's basketball, even college women's basketball. But it's very exciting, and I think the sports outlets are doing a much better job of promoting the individual personalities, so we get some stories and narratives behind all of this.
Dr. Stroman, quick comments, your thoughts on Angel Reese and when she was suspended for the first half of the game, but just the comments that she made about her team and being unhappy and basically possibly wanting to move.
I think that's the effect of players, in particular the men in the NFL, the NBA, being able to be their own creatives with their press. Mm-hmm. And so when you're making millions and millions of dollars, and now you have your own YouTube channel, now you have your own IG with millions and millions of followers, there are many pro players now who are controlling the narrative for their brand. And Angel Reese, no doubt, she's one of the stars of the WNBA, and she has her own following. But I think you have to be careful. Loose lips? She hasn't been in the league long enough to be able to use the mic in that way.
That's right.
And she still has people who are hating on her from what happened in college, whether it's fair, right, or true, or whatever. I think she needs to be careful until I don't want to say she has to get a ring, but she needs to be in the league a little bit longer and prove herself before she can make statements and demands like that. Everybody would want to play with her. Teammates say that, and especially when you have someone who rebounds as well as she does. If you're a shooter, you want a player like that on your team. But I don't think she has the cachet. I don't think she has the clout yet to be able to get away with comments like that, especially right before the playoffs.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
You're right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.